Hello everyone, this is Anne from Odulcina. What is that huge book? You can see with my hands how big it is. So I had this idea because I received this box yesterday of Crafty Me Shop laces, all black and goldy. And I just looked at it and let me show you my first idea. I've put it on a music sheet. That kind of music sheet where the pages are already like they're completed, they're not tiered in the middle. And I just put it on top and I was in love. So I needed to find a way to keep the page to its all. So I started thinking maybe I could do like a mega big junk journal. I never did one that I can put big pieces of papers or big journaling pages. Not sure what I would do with it, but now I kind of did a base and I want to show you. So what I did is I grabbed 2 envelopes. You see those big envelopes here? So there's 2. They are 9 by 12 inches. They are the letter size paper envelope. So I grabbed 2 pieces of papers. This is a letter size format typically. So I grabbed 2 coffee stain paper and I took a piano roll. And the piano roll paper is so fragile, right? You need to stick it on something. So I glued it on both sides of 2 pages that were already glued together. Let me show you the other side. Where is it? Oh, here. Okay, and here I just folded it, came back, and then when I came back, I kept the beginning of the roll. And I just love that. So it's glued, wrapped around 2 pages that were tied together with some sort of a tape. I think I've used the washi tape in the middle. Yeah, it's a washi tape here to hold the 2 pages together. And then I glued the piano roll paper all around and glued it here. Isn't it gorgeous? And the feeling, it's just awesome. And I've used some fabric to glue together my pages or my envelopes because I'm using the full size of everything. So I need to attach them together somehow, and it needs to be sturdy. So fabric is a good option. I just realized that I could not use fabric everywhere because otherwise I would have like a pattern here and another pattern there. So you're going to see fabric just one at a time, and the rest is either paper or something beige or really no pattern, because that would have looked really fun. So this page was already like a full page, full dual page. So I used it. Then I stick together 2 pink papers that I coffee stained just slightly. So I've used another fabric there. The fabric on this side doesn't matter because here it has no fabric. This is a file folder that is just about like 67 pounds. It's not as thick as other file folders that we typically buy in the stores. And this one is kind of pink. It's like if it's a handmade paper looking style. Then I had that page. Sometimes, especially when I started, I didn't have a lot of, this is the other side. I didn't have a lot of ephemera, old paper, vintage papers. And I bought some kits on Etsy of old papers. And this was part of a bundle that I bought. So it's a big page. I never used it, so it's perfect right now. So it's the perfect time to use bigger pages that you have. Tracing paper that has been coffee stained, so I attached two of them together, and I've used the sari silk on both sides, and I did the stitching in black because my idea with this book is to use black laces with pink. I have an idea I'm sure you're gonna love. Then I used some of my design paper with washi tape. This washi tape just goes on the side, folds, and come back the other side, and it works very great. So these are papers that are printed both sides. This is Ceramida's book. It's an original page and it was not tiered, so I could just put it there. This is another page from a book that I have that was bigger than average, so that was perfect. Some coffee stain paper attached with some fabric on both sides, and an Edit Olden page that I loved everything on both sides that was not tiered. And I just used little bits of washi tapes here to kind of make it a little bit more sturdy. And I punched the holes on that one just to prevent more tearing, because when you punch through with the needle and the sari silk, sometimes the hole is not perfect and it can go a little bit longer somewhere. So when you punch a hole before, you kind of prevent a little bit the tearing. Of course, if it's too fragile and if you tear too much, pull too much on the thread or on the sari silk, you can tear it, but in this case that should be sufficient. I've used only half of a sari silk to make it a little bit thinner so it's less bulky. So let me show you the other part of this huge journal. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? This, I'm less in love with that page, so I might cover it. Another Odulcina paper. Tracing paper that has been coffee stained. Isn't it gorgeous? And honestly, I love making different sizes of junk journals. The tiny ones are special, but I can tell you, the big ones are special too. And here we have the pockets that I didn't glue. I kept the opening instead of gluing the flap. I just put it inside. Look at that. So these are envelopes that I had coffee stained with a plastic doily on. So now I have this. I just don't want to work on it right now because I'm probably create a tassel at the end, but I'm not there yet. So I wanted to show you the base of my junk journal. And now I'm going to start decorating it and you're going to see. I am in love. Look at this big junk journal. Shabby chic with black. And it looks so luxurious. Mixing the beige, the pink, the light pink, and the black, and some gold. It's just wow. And I love this format and the squishiness of it. Okay, let me show you. This, I had this kind of straw color, and it looks like gold beside gold, so it's kind of perfect. So I've used one of my trio card that had more black on it than the others, and I had that polka dot tool in my stash. This is coming from a blouse or something someone gave me, and I kept just the lace. little part of it. Everything else is Crafty Me Shop. So this is Crafty Me Shop. This is Crafty Me Shop. It's a design team project for Crafty Me Shop. And because I got some black laces in my last design team big box. So it's an envelope and I glued it as a flip because I couldn't see myself hiding all that cute coffee stain pattern. Even the envelope, it's gorgeous. I love coffee staining envelopes with pattern. So you have the big pocket here. I didn't glue anything because it's already so bulky and nothing has been added to the journal in terms of journaling and maybe adding a picture there or a graphic, whatever that can be just glued there to the taste of the purpose of the journal, because I don't know yet what I'm going to do with that. And I've used a lot of those decorations I did few videos ago. So you're going to see them. They're peeking out and they're making that junk journal gorgeous. So the music, the violin and the piano, it's kind of a same music theme. I just love this. Look at that. The stain, the number that is stamped on that. It's an original. I didn't do anything. And I cannot hide that. So if I'm adding something here, it's going to be either a little bend here to hide those little holes, or it's going to be attached to the page with a paper clip. Here, there's a belly band, so a couple of papers could be added there. A little bookmark that is attached through a paper clip. Here I've used one of those cards. It's the inventory cards that I have as a digital that I glued on it a snippet of my fabric that I embroidered on it. So I have a whole playlist to show you how to do embroideries from scratch, from the beginning, and with the video number 1, you can already start creating almost this, like there's 2 different kinds of stitches there, but second video you can do that one. And I do a project per video, so you can practice while doing something interesting and useful in your junk journals. So anyway, this is a cluster that I did that I glued on one of my inventory cards digital kit, and I just attached it with washi tape to create a flap. Gorgeous fabric and the pink. Another of the decorations I did, and it's going to be like a tuck spot, so I can still slide something there or glue something on the file folder here and it will go under it. Here I've used one of the trio cards that only has 2 and I created a tuck spot with it. So I just glued those 2 sides, so I can add something bigger maybe. I can add a big paper or smaller, or 2 with that tuck spot. Here I had that glassine bag that I've sewn a tulle coming from a dress, and it was in my stash, not used at all. So I just put that cute bookmark in the bag, and it kind of creates a decoration. I'm thinking maybe I should decorate the top of this beautiful bookmark. I just realized that right now looking at it. So I might come back and add something there. And we have a black lace here. On this page, there was a big A here for Evans, I guess. There was a big orange A, and orange is not that much my style. So I glued a square picture from one of my Polaroid type of pictures kit. I have a couple of kits of Polaroids, so you don't run out of ideas there if you have something like that. So when you have a page that you love, but there's only one element that you don't like, you can always hide it, right? Don't forget that. Here, those bookmarks that I created, and it's kind of a scrappy pad. I just added that black lace at the back as another layer, but you see it was already in my stash, already decorated with white and creams, pinks, and I just added some black as the last layer, and I glued it all just at the top, so everything is floating and accessible to look at, even the lace and even the page. Isn't it gorgeous? All together, even if it's all soft colors, the black is perfect there. So some pages I didn't decorate. That's on purpose because I need to go with whatever this journal will be used for. I'll keep going on, but at least with whatever I did right now, it looks good just to flip through it. And over the time when it's going to be used for real, then we can add more decorations based on what I'm going to glue there. So I've used a little leftover of the trim of the lace to just, let me show you. There's some little flowers there. Can you see the reflection of the light? So I glued it in a way that, I created kind of a tab, a lace tab, just to decorate a little bit here and add that little touch of black here and there in that journal. I added a little flower there. That's just a fussy cut that I glued. But really that page should remain like that. Maybe I can add a little black lace here as well. I don't know, we'll see. But for now, it is only that. And here, look at this page. It felt to me like the teddy bear was going very well with the rabbit and those soft pastel colors. So I've put it there. And in order to hide the back here, I added a cheesecloth. And I think I should add a little lace here. Maybe not black, just creamy white. Little lace flower or something. Here it's kind of a talk spot, but it's mostly to decorate the tab of the file folder that was peeking out a lot. So I started with that one and then I added more so it gradually peaks out to that level because it was a lot. I could have trimmed it too. I just wanted to keep the tab. And here I've used that big lace from Crafty Me Shop. And I wanted to glue it, but I decided to leave it like floating like that. So it's just glued here. But if I change my mind, I can glue it even. I can maybe sew the sides or glue the sides and create kind of a pocket. I don't know. I can glue just the bottom and it's a pocket kind of tuck spot like that. Or I can leave it floating like that. Here, it's one of those raggedy pages that I did in the past that I never used. I have a little stash of those. And because the journal is big, that was perfect and already made, ready to go. And I glued it so it's kind of a talk spot. Isn't it great to just reuse whatever you have in your stash? It goes so quick to kind of fill a journal. So I created a little pocket here, so I glued 3 sides here. I find that the gold, the black, and the music sheet that has been coffee stained is just a perfect mix. Just so perfect. So I had to put the lace on it, but at least we have the option to kind of tuck something there. And on that side, I just glued one of those piano roll paper that I had printed on in the past. Here, another of the decorations I did. I added a lace, very Victorian style, and it peeks through here as well, so it's kind of balanced. And this decorates everything, and we don't see it up to here, but it kind of keep going on with the pieces that peeks out. This was another raggedy pages that I had done. So this one, I've used some black laces that I glued on the page and on the raggedy page to just attach it like anchors. That can be washi tapes, fabric, paper to do the same. And because both sides were decorated already, there was that black and white polka dot, black and cream polka dot there. So I thought, oh boy, this fits so well with that black writing of the typewriter. And this is a file folder, so I had made little pocket there, right on time for Easter. That was already there in it, so that was just a coincidence. So it kind of adds more, but when you do that, you can always use it kind of as a talk spot as well, and include more papers there, floating papers. Or at least you can still glue something and you still have places. And for the last page, this was already made in my stash, but it's an envelope, a smaller envelope. I've put a Velcro. So you have a pocket here. You have a corner pocket here. You have a corner pocket here to slide little pieces of papers. You have a bag that is glued to this first section, and it's glued a way that you have a pocket here. So you have a little scrappy pad that slides here and hides, and it creates that little decoration too. And then in the bag you have like a big pocket, and I've put one of the trio cards in the bag. So it peeks out, and you have some interaction here. You don't want to go too bulky. It's already bulky because I already have 2 things there, and there's beads, but a piece of 2 of papers, postcard or pictures there, that would fit well. And the page is kind of complete by itself. And that's the back. And how I made the closure is, you remember is, you remember I had made the knot here initially. So I slided it because it's all floating, right? So, and in order to slide it, I took it from the middle. Where is my middle? I took it from the middle, and while I was pushing into that direction, I was pulling into that direction, and it slided very well. So I had the original knot there, which became that little bow. And with that, I attached more of the sari silk long enough that I can put it at the back and the front, and then I can use them to do a little bow and attach everything together. Isn't it gorgeous? Well, so I hope it inspired you. It's the first time I do a big junk journal like that, for that format, and I love it. I just love it. So I might do more of those format. But really, if you love writing or adding full sheets of ephemeras or letters, and you don't want to fold them, this is kind of the perfect project, because you can now stick them to the pages or insert them between pages and keep that big format. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.